I'm Brooke Burgstahler for Mary Jane News, and we're here at the Cannabis World Congress and Business Expo. We had a chance to sit down with the event's keynote speaker, Al Sharpton, about his stance on legal marijuana and how your cannabis use is a political statement. Reverend Al Sharpton, it is so awesome to be sitting with you. Thanks for taking a minute to speak with us.
Thank you.
You spoke at the Sister event in New York, and that was one of your first time speaking about the decriminalization of marijuana and being pro-cannabis. What made you feel ready or comfortable to make a public stance?
I think that during the Obama administration, National Action Network, the group I had, worked around commuting low-level nonviolent drug offenses. And when I was able to see firsthand a lot of people whose lives were ruined, families shattered because of a joint, when President Obama left office and the first thing the Trump administration says is we're going to start the war on drugs again, we're against legalization of cannabis, I said no, we need to not go and reverse that because I saw firsthand what it does. So when Decode started and they asked the Congress to have me come, I was more than willing to do it, and I intend to keep doing it.
Why is the decriminalization of marijuana so important?
I think, one, there's health issues. I mean, are we really at the point where we are debating whether our auntie should be able to relieve her pain when it's established she can do it with cannabis? Are we really that insensitive that we're going to let medically proven remedies not be used because we have some archaic view? I think that is one thing. I think the other thing is that, for me to have friends who said to me, Al, I'm with you on a lot of stuff, but I'm not with this because kids smoking a joint could get too high and cause a problem. And they say, I'm on my way to the bar to have a vodka. That could cause a problem. Or I'm going to smoke a cigar. That could so are we choosing the possibilities, or are we protecting everybody's option to do what is their choice as long as they're not hurting anyone else? I cannot believe that we are still in a mentality among some that we feel we can choose other people's lives.
36 of 3,600 dispensaries in the United States are Black-owned. That's 1%.
Right.
I know this is obviously another huge arena that has your support. How do you think the industry can help diversify itself?
The way that it does in any other business. You must set goals. We must say it should be 15%. It should be whatever. Then how do we get there? We must make sure the laws are not restrictive, because some of the laws say if you've had a marijuana on some state arrest, you can't own a dispensary. Well, we need to eliminate that. Or that you've got to be able to show a certain amount of money. Well, you don't have equal access to capital. We want to see Black ownership, Latino ownership at these percentages, women who don't have the same access to capital. So I think that you've got to set definite goals and definite objectives and definite timetables.
What is blocking us? Obviously money, but what are those interests of others trying to prevent the legalization?
Well, I think a lot of it is that if some of the big industries could control and regulate and profit, that they would not be threatened. And I think that there is self-interest in that. As it was, a lot of them were for prohibition until they could get their hands around who was going to control the booze. I think that people need to stand up, particularly coming into a midterm election year, and say to legislators, where are you on legalization of medical marijuana? Where are you on other cannabis issues? We ought to make it a campaign issue, because anybody that's running for state office or congressional office that can't stand up on this, we ought to have people campaign and make clear that they are not someone that should be in those chambers.
Any other advice that you might be able to give anyone at home, what they could do to help forward the cannabis movement?
They need to be involved. They need to let their legislators know they're involved. A lot of people say, well, I'm not politically involved. Every time you smoke a joint, it's a political statement. Every time someone needs medical marijuana, it's a political statement. So you're in it whether you like it or not. Don't let other people make decisions for you. Stand up and make them for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much. On behalf of Mary Jane, this was our best time ever.
Thank you.
Thank you, Al.